And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Panzer Corps 2 in the old history path. And now we're on the Conquest America, which is, I believe, the landing in the East Coast. After this level, I don't know if it's the American Center or just the rest of America. So I don't remember if it's two more missions left or one more mission left. But we got this one here today, and then we'll probably be doing the rest of the main campaign up in the next stream. So with that, I have to decide what we're taking. I also have to decide what we're repairing. We're not taking the good stuff gun. Back in the reserve for you. And then with that, we probably don't need... Can I even do the... I can't even do the strategic aircraft off the deck of the Graf Zeppelin. So we're going to have to just... For the moment, we're going to heal up our veteran aircraft here. But they're getting pushed into the reserve. They're not useful during the initial landing. Same sort of thing with the recon planes. I think we'll take like one recon plane with us for the initial landing, just so we can have it go buzz the landing site where we think we're trying to land. And I think we might pull... What's the status of the fighter planes we had from before? Might unbench a bunch of these guys. I guess I have a bunch of additional fighter planes for the initial Air Force wave. I only get to take 7 in here, so we'll just take 3 of those. There we go. Okay, so that's our initial Air Force. Nice, easy choice. There's not many of them that we can take with us. Yeah, I think it's time to upgrade these armored cars to the newer armored cars. Yep. This is mostly an anti-tank upgrade. You know, I think we'll reinforce everyone, so let's do that. Okay. Sorry, I had a family member pop in. Okay. So, for the deployment here, I think we do still want to probably mostly take... Yeah, mostly everything's going to deploy up here, which is going to make the landing grounds a little stuffed for the initial landing. We do have 8 planes, so we could take 8 Fallschirmjäger, I think, flying. Or can't we? Ooh. I think the Fallschirmjäger only fly if we're launching them off the Graf Zeppelin. Yeah, if they're only flying if we launch them off the Graf Zeppelin, I don't think we want to take Fallschirmjäger. Okay. We have mountains and lots of hills, so it is going to be tempting to take the mountain troops. What heroes do we have unused? We got a camouflage, we got a fierce fire. Yes, I suppose we need to take that port pretty quickly. Otherwise we'll just be surrounded on the landing. Okay. And then we probably do want the Broken Pioneer. Maybe... Yeah, let's go another 2. We've got another 2 with the half-tracks. Well, I can always upgrade one to have half-tracks, so... You, grab some half-track as well. And then I think we grab a bunch of Are you actually... Okay, yeah, mostly hard attack, a little bit of initiative, but not too worried about the G upgrade, okay. We'll upgrade you to Tiger 2, so you'll be our one and only upgrade. That leaves us with 58, or no, 20 space. Between 38 and 58 is 20, yes. Let's take that as infantry. Let's specifically take that as mountain infantry. +5 attack and defense in hills and mountains. Compare that against the regular Ver infantry. That means they're going to be working with like 16 versus 13-11 in those hills. And I think I'll just equip them all with a bunch of trucks. Because I won't really be able to use the trucks much. And we might literally have them abandon the trucks if we push them through the Appalachian hills there, Appalachian mountains there. Okay, with that, I need to figure out how I'm going to deploy them all here. There isn't a really nice exposed port down here to supply, so we'd have to literally overrun that hex if we were to do a landing around Charlottesville. Although it is maybe tempting to try that. We'll see how the deployment up here looks first. So probably want the Pioneers to land first and burn out the bunker, let's say. Oh yeah, I think I'm going to have to deploy some down south. Otherwise we won't have enough landing space up here for everything. Yeah, we won't have enough landing space for everything if we land everything up here. Okay. Oh, if we're landing up down there, we want someone to come down south. Okay, and everything else has got to go up north because we've run out of not enough space. There might even not be enough space to get everything landed anyway. Oh yeah, there's enough space to get everything landed anyway. I may in fact have to unload more stuff when we land from the exits we take. Okay, well that's what we're going to be rocking with for the initial deploy. We got a camouflage and a fierce hero. Let's camouflage you. And fierce fighter you. For the landing. Okay, we're ending deployment. Some units have not been deployed to the map and won't participate in the upcoming battle. Are you sure you want to end the deployment phase now? Well, they're in undeployed, which there are ways for me to deploy them mid-battle, so we're just going to say yes. They're saying, oh, they won't be available for next battle. That's not quite true. Okay, so there's no one actually defending that hex. We're able to just roll over it right away, which is a good thing. And like that, cleared out the UT boats between us and our landing site. I'll just move you there. Okay, we can see there is a strong point on that objective that we do need to clear. Oh, and our guys can't even make it to shore on the first turn. It's going to take them 2 to get in. Although we're not necessarily expecting to be hit by anything until we... this turn at least. Provide decent AA support. Planes at most. Okay. So we've got a landing. Maybe a debate on how good that landing is going to be. And if that's successful at distracting the Americans from landing from the main landing, which it might not do. I suppose now that we control that landing, is it going to let me deploy from there? No. Sometimes the supply hexes are considered deployment zones as well. This is not an example of that. So let's cycle the turn. The Americans' turn. Oof. That's high efficiency late game units here. Not like our artillery is particularly weak to enemy air attack. That was our dive bomber getting shot down. Destroyers and subs fighting each other. Destroyers and destroyers fighting each other. Again, once we get our troops ashore, we don't really care as much about the Navy. If anything, our goal with the naval assets is to get destroy the cruisers and the battleships. We can care less about the destroyers. There goes our first piece destroyed. That's not good. Yeah, that's not good. I think the entire southern tanks could get destroyed. The reason being is I have to get control of a port or one of these hexes down here. Which is not going to be trivial to do, based off the information we know. Yeah, because I put a tank on it, so we'd have to drive the tank off at the spot. Okay, I still don't think this is a great position for our guys down here. We've lost too many in the initial landing, and I don't think we have any way to reinforce down there. A. So yeah, we can't quite get everything ashore right now. Which I suppose isn't the end of the world. Okay, some AA coverage will be nice. I was hoping the ground supplement would have some AA fire. It doesn't. A cruiser. We can bring you in to shoot up the destroyer there. Use our destroyers to actually get rid of the sub that we see. Where do we have Fulshmaker selected? Almost saying to the bomb. And yeah, I suppose we might as well replace our dive bomber. Yeah, I'm gonna relent. We're gonna take one of these guys. Just because it'll be able to defend itself a little bit better against American fighters, even if it's primarily used for ground attack roll. Yeah, not happy about the situation down here. I think the troops we sent down there are gonna get mulched. I sent some veterans down there, which is a little bit of disappointment. The rest of our guys will get ashore. Question here is, can we get rid of the strong point quickly enough that we don't feel balled up in the landing zone here? Yeah, I think that's what we're running into. We're going to run into real quick. There goes that 88. Out at sea, we're not necessarily suffering as badly as I was worried. Although we are definitely going to need to get an airfield real quick, otherwise our planes are going to get shot down from the Graf Zeppelin being shot. Is to take veteran to the Panther D? Okay. Cloudy day. Okay, clear the bunker. Scoot up the AA onto it. That sadly is not an airfield, although it is a supply hex, so we are golden from a supply standpoint. Okay, we're gonna just attack through the fact that we're getting attacked by the warship. There we go. Actually, no, the dock is probably still considered a closed terrain. Yeah. So to go, oh, I should probably put it on the dock. Nah, hindsight, probably not. So I think it's this one I get to deploy from? Yeah. Okay, let's get the Ver out. As we move away from this point, we'll be able to deploy more and more guys. You're seeing the superiority of American air power at this point in the war. Yes, their most advanced aircraft is... Plus their, like, extreme aces are doing, like, 1 damage. Sub to attack the cruiser. It's a light cruiser, which isn't the worst of targets for the sub. Comes down to RNG. Get a hit, you kill it. If you don't, you die. Okay, so the American battleships are staying back for whatever reason. Okay, so at least the American, well, except for the stuff around New York, has mostly been driven back. Over the Atlantic continues to improve and not worsen. American artillery realizing it probably made a mistake. Every one of our guns opens fire on it. Yeah, hindsight, I'm thinking I probably shouldn't have bothered trying to deploy to the southern deployment zone. Should have left the guys in the reserve until we unembarked. It's tying up American forces, but tying up American forces that probably weren't going to be a particular issue up north. Either that or I needed to redeploy so that the tanks were sitting on top of the supply sector. Bled too close to New York, not close enough to Charlottesville sort of thing. Here we go. So we got you out of the way. The city assault's still going to be a city assault, let's just say. Yeah, could definitely do with the Broken Pioneer being deployed, like previous turn. Takes 4 fighter planes to bring 1 plane down. Oof. At least we're doing 1 a turn. And then the Americans don't have that many planes. They've got really good planes. Which is its own sort of pain. I want you to shoot it, please. Thank you. Okay, no planes over there. Repair the grass sapling, because we still... Well, we now have an airfield, so if we were to lose a plane, it would redeploy at this airfield, the match. I think we still want more secure airfield before we accept that as the only landing spot, please. Okay, 1 more ship to send to the bottom. There, 1 more ship to send to the bottom up here, and we've basically got control of the sea besides the battleships, which the subs will do a pretty good job of giving them the time. Although that might be a load-bearing if we give them the time. Yeah, I think we're going to cycle the turn, and then we're going to put the part break in here. We've got a secure landing. We're threatening the outskirts of New York. We're threatening Quebec, Montreal, and Ottawa. If we can get these guys in position to help with the bridging here, rolling down into maybe the bottleneck around Toronto will probably be pretty quick. And then assaulting through New York is going to be a bloody affair, but I think something that our troops may be reasonably well equipped to do. Especially this Pioneer here. If we can de-entrench them, this Pioneer should be able to just capture 1 guy a turn. Yeah, let's cycle the turn. See the bloody nose they probably give us in the south. Okay, the American battleships are coming out to play. Infantry gains a star and it gets destroyed. Okay, before I'm going to resist trying to do more of the turn. We're going to put the part break in here. If you're watching on YouTube, we'll be picking up where we left off next time, and that will be tomorrow. It's tomorrow for you. If you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. I can take a short moment to get up, stretch the legs, sip some tea, and then we'll be back to record. This will probably be a three-parter, unless it really starts to clear up as we push inland. So until the next part, wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.